Welcome back, guys, to yourrealestate101.com. Well, today we will talk about top 5 landlord-tenant issues that are going under COVID. Right now, I want to make sure you guys subscribe to this station so that we can continue these conversations. But today I want to ask a question. What makes America America? For me, it is the fact that you can go from the bottom and work your way to the top. As you work hard to pursue your own happiness, you come to realize the American dream is often associated with owning property. But we must ask ourselves, what does that really mean to own property? Well, in America, what that means is you own rights to a piece of land. The right to work the property, the right to lend out the property. And that is exactly what a mom and pop landlord does. The mom and pop landlord often are people who worked hard all their lives. They buy a rental, maybe one or two, maybe as a retirement plan, and then they rent it out to people who did not want to take the risk of home ownership, but more commonly to people who can't afford to buy their own home. The mom and pop is also unique since many offer good, clean home, not those prison-like government buildings that the government provides, but warm family homes. In return, they are paid rent. They take the rent, pay the lights, pay the water bill, insurance, mortgage, maintenance, expenses for the property, and whatever else is left is their pay. Sometimes things don't go as well and the tenant cannot pay. But since the landlord still has to make all these payments anyway, often after the service was already provided to the tenant. But if the tenant doesn't pay the rent, the landlord would then have the ability to take the tenant to court and ask a judge to provide judgment and an eviction. And then they would then get the possession of the property. But what if the government steps in, takes some of these rights away to the property, but not the obligations, not the bills, not the risk? Well, my friend, that is exactly what the government has done. Under the frivolous idea that the people can catch COVID by getting evicted. But they can keep shopping at liquor stores, they can go to restaurants, they can go to, even kids can go to schools, but somehow evictions seems to be the biggest way people can catch COVID. So today I want to tell you the top 5 landlord-tenant issues under COVID. Number 1, mom and pop landlords are having a hard time. Out of all the landlords, they are the ones that suffer the most. They are forced to hold on to violent, aggressive tenants who are damaging their homes. Many times when they make the arguments why the moratorium is necessary or why they should stop evictions, they show you a sweet, innocent family. This is often far from the truth. The reason why is most mom and pop, or many mom and pops, offer affordable housing. Now, the thing about affordable housing is that the people are often really poor. Even if you screen that tenant best as you cannot account for the boyfriend that she will meet in a few months that is always at the property but says he doesn't live there. And then there's other cases like where someone will just simply move out and sublet the property to someone else or just give the property to some crazy family that you never actually met. This is such a problem because often we hear the government say this doesn't mean that the tenant is going to live there for free, that they will have to pay the rent eventually. Good luck trying to collect from a person who is getting assistance and will most likely get assistance for their whole lives, or trying to get money from someone who doesn't even care about their credit or even understand what's the value in the credit. Chances of you seeing any money is slim to none. Often the government tries to screw people who they think has money, but at the end screwing the poor people. So after this is over and that landlord loses their property, like in California, you will see a lack of affordable housing and a rise in homelessness. Because the next guy will not be thinking about the affordable housing market, which will in turn put more stress on the government to find these people homes. Number 2, did you know landlords still have to keep paying utilities and making repairs to the property, whether they get paid or not by law. If a landlord stops making repairs or something goes off, like the lights, the water, or something goes off, this is illegal. It's called constructive eviction. This means tenants can literally sue the landlords. You can get into huge trouble as a landlord. Now, wrap this around your head. You are a 68-year-old landlady. This was your retirement plan. The tenant has not paid you for over a year. The lights goes off because you simply do not have any more money to pay it. Well, that tenant can claim constructive eviction and sue you, and you can get in big trouble. Number 3, landlords still have to pay taxes even if they are not getting paid. Okay, now this to me is a slap in the face right from the government. The same people who's making these laws, preventing you from getting paid, forcing you to pay for all these things, is also demanding for you to pay them because they want their pay. Okay? Number 4, tenants are using codes as a way for them to make sure that they will not have to pay the landlords back. You would think if you are a tenant living for free, you would think they should be thankful. But there are plenty of tenants out there that are causing damages purposely to the property, then calling codes. And the reason they do this is to have an argument why they should not have to pay the rent to the landlord. Some bad tenants will try this, and many landlords will simply eat the cost, fix the property, whatever the damages are, and just in normal times, they would only lose 1 or 2 months. However, imagine now that these tenants can owe over a year worth of rent, forcing you to keep paying their utilities on top of all that damage they are purposely doing. Example, let's say a tenant breaks a window. They can call codes for that window. Codes will give you, the owner, a notice to fix it, but the tenant doesn't let the worker in to fix it. Now you have to go to court. If you don't go to court, this could be even worse because they can even actually put a warrant out for your arrest. So this is pretty tough, okay? All right, number 5, rent relief is a joke. The government made it super easy for people to not pay the rent and completely stopped evictions in some states without any proof necessary that these people were affected by COVID. However, in order for these people to get rent relief, they actually have to prove that they were affected by COVID with documents. Many tenants will not qualify. This does not cover the tenants who moved out already even before the rent relief even started. So a lot of landlords are just left with this lack of funds. So a lot of landlords are left taking the hit. And a lot of tenants had a year of free living. Okay, now today I got a bonus for you guys. Although landlords have been singled out during this pandemic, there is no program right now that is help mom and pop landlords. The PPP program will not work since most mom and pops hire subcontractors to do the work, or they do the work themselves, and they cannot get any money for themselves since they often are considered business owners and not employees in their business. So, and in any other type of program there are generally programs to create debt for the landlord. So imagine you are 95 years old, you have worked all your life, and this was your retirement plan. I think it is pretty sad, and I think it's shameful for the governments to completely use the landlords as a scapegoat. There you have it. It was my top 5 things you probably didn't know about the landlord-tenant issues under COVID. Now, if you have not already, please subscribe and turn on notifications. If you think I missed something, comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's start a conversation.